I raised a $9 million seed round, a $35 million Series A, over $50 million for Blaze.
So, how should startups think about when to raise money from venture capitalists?
So my main advice to startups who want to fundraise is don't. The first thing that you should think is not when, how soon can I fundraise? When can I fundraise? It's actually how much of a business can I build with the funds and time I have before I have to fundraise. As a lot of founders, especially folks who went to Ivy League schools or worked at big corporate institutions, think about fundraising as like another gold ring or step on a ladder to climb. But that's not actually what fundraising is. Fundraising, especially if you're raising from venture capital firms, is essentially like taking on debt because you're bringing on money, which feels really good up front, but that money is basically a promise to those investors that you are going to return to them 100 times over or 1,000 times over. And the way that venture capital works, which is different from friends and families, venture capital is like jet fuel. You can run many different types of cars with regular gas, but there's only certain types of vehicles that you can fuel with that you can fly with jet fuel. And venture capital is kind of similar. There's many businesses you can build in the world, and there's many for many businesses you don't need a ton of money. But when you raise venture capital, you have to build a business that can grow so fast that it can return the fund. And that's a term investors use to mean that if every other investment they make in a fund fails, one success, your business could be so successful that it essentially pays for the failures of all the other businesses they've invested in. And so venture capitalists are not looking for a 5x return or a 10x return on their capital. They're looking for a 100x or a 1,000x return. They're essentially looking for an idea that can be a billion-dollar business. And so when you raise from venture capitalists, you're not just getting that money to power your car another 10 or 20 miles. You're essentially getting on a treadmill that is going to go ever faster and faster. And so a lot of folks, it feels good to raise money. It feels good to see your bank balance go up. It feels good to get the validation from people who tell you that you're amazing and visionary and that your idea is incredible. But the reality is like that's a little sugar high for another 10 years of eating glass until you figure out how to make your business into a rocket ship. And the reality is most businesses are not rocket ships. Most businesses are cars. Cars are fine. We need cars. But people raise from the wrong sources all the time and then get killed on the backside because they didn't realize what they were signing up for. Give me a follow, write fundraising in the comments, and I'll shoot you my secret playbook for fundraising in a DM.